You are not a cat, a father's advice to his children. Make friends, challenge them, wait for them. Let your friends go, make new ones, welcome the old ones back. Stand by them, sit by them, worry with them. Think of something bigger of which you are a part. Create a community, enlarge it. Make a place for wasps, walnut trees, and grackles. Include Germany, Jordan, Belize, Indonesia, and Davis Inlet. Listen to everything around you. Grow up, laugh about it, love your innocence, nurture it, love your experience, be complicated. Live simply, play, be amazed, doubt, when in doubt, trust. When trust is betrayed, doubt, and trust again. Be disillusioned. If you are a cat, be a cat. If you are an ant, be an ant. If you got through grade 1, get real. You are neither cat nor insect. Dig a compost hole. Sit with the cat, watching ants and squirrels. Water the roses. Listen for worms with the robins. Have strong opinions. Argue. Change your mind. Make enemies. Love your enemies. Fight for their rights. Demand your responsibilities. Relax. Let go. Never forget. Always forgive. If you can't remember, let it go. If it needs you, it will come back. Let the buck stop with you. If you have a buck, share it. Read books. Talk to your father. Listen to your mother. Feel the wind on your face. Feel the waters around you. Rise up. Pray without ceasing. When your cat dies, cry your heart out. Return your heart to its proper place. Do an autopsy to see why the cat died. Remember this for your next cat. Bury her in the backyard. Plant a rose bush over her. Prune the bush. Pile cow manure around it. Relish the scent. Cultivate your powers of observation. Look again. Lose a good argument. Be devastated. Do good. Do it well. Succeed. Fail. Grow. Use email. Write. Call. Keep secrets. Share them over tea with muffins. Be a character in many others' lives. Think in stories. Talk in parables. Hum to yourself. Sing with your friends. Drop by for no reason. If we're not in, drop a note in the mailbox. Just say hi. How the Earth Loves You. One day, perhaps when you are in your 40s, he is at your door with a spring of daffodils. Another day he bears lilies or jack-in-the-pulpits. Every day a flutter of fresh petals and another scent whispering at the skirt of your hair. He seems disconcertingly traditional. He brings roses, for instance, red ones. You are bemused. You look past him sheepishly to the shapes of clouds, to the paling blue sky. When your eyes return from flight, you see your hand is bleeding. You are clutching a sprig of thorns, and he is gone. He returns with fat red tomatoes, waxy green peppers, a peach pressed firmly, gently from his palm to yours. You can still feel the scars from his roses. Your hand retreats, your fingers brush. Your breath, like a wave, curls under, tumbles, pulls back. Your belly tenses. You are body surfing, barely skimming the sand, an unspeakable fear swelling your tongue. Do not speak it. This is what you were made for, the heat of his gaze on your forearm, burning your cheek. You feel the slack first in your knees, then your back. Do not succumb. The best is still to come. In the fall he leaves in a glorious swirl of gold and rust amid the chatty travel songs of migrating birds. You ache in his absence, raking at the unreachable pain in your chest. When you think of him, you balk at his easy certainty, his knowledge of your desire. You delight in the melting snowflakes that catch in his hair. You sigh at how his breathing undulates under the white quilt. It is enough to lie in bed on a slow Saturday to know he will come, his cool palm stroking your belly, your breasts unexpectedly clutching your breath as if it were another bouquet. Do not hasten his wooing. He will come soon enough. You must not speak his name. Only when you have slipped life's pearls through your fingers like a rosary, counting the day after day of his unfailing courtship, when you have ached for him in all the little things, in how you walk, how your fingers probe a place for seeds, how your cheek presses to his hard belly, how you touch the mound where new life stirs, only then will you be ready. The light will break through, and the darkness together, and you will understand, finally, who it is who has loved you all this time so well. I cannot love you without. Without touching my fingers to the earth you walk on, without tonguing like a cow the grass, the leaves after the light crush of your passing, rising again with slow dignity, without nosing the ants strung out in their complex symphony of songlines, without loving the long pause of the earthworms as they feel the sweet, cocky song of a robin, the long pause of the cat as she views the robin's bob, I cannot love you. Raising to you the ruby's crystal blush of red Chilean wine, I raise a glass to the men and women whose coarse palms plucked this harvest, to the children with no shoes. I cannot love you without remembering how they poke around the barrios, overturning rocks, reading the pattern of bugs there for some sign of a future, how they sell cigarettes and oranges to motorists at stoplights. I cannot touch you without embracing all those splintered children, axed by the insatiable neatness of bookkeepers, kindling for a fearful sacrifice to science and lust, gently gathering them into my arms. I cannot hold them without remembering you, without losing myself in our daily conversation, the mingling of our voices, which goes nowhere and is everything. I break this bread with you, we dip it into swirls of cheese, we share a trust with dust-browed farmers robbed at pen point, caught in the crossfire of demands for Kodak-perfect cornucopias and unfarmed wilderness. With weary coffee piggers and sugar cutters, we dance in muffled happiness, the arm-locked, slow-kicking yarn of us weaving among the glittering sparks of feral cats, homeless wolves, whiskered rats, sighing waves of murmuring birds. I love them with my heart pounding, laughing out loud. With a rush of understanding, I want to flee, stumbling away. I want to charge into the teeth and claws of them, into their wild, devouring lust for us. I cannot love you without being made small, a fearful, feathered, fallen parakeet, unnested on the forest floor. And in the throes of my opinioned love, you will feel the scratch of my toenails climbing your sighs and flowers, returning from the earth, from all the brown leaf-wielding weariness of it, with aching muscles returning to the heights of you, to the green, trembling canopy, where, in the blue, bright sky above, in a sudden, furious squall of petals, we shall fall again, softly, like a gentle rain, through the long, resplendent evening, into the furrow of our brows, into the arms of all we have remembered, into the comforter of all their million voices, whispering beyond the pain of all remembrance. Our mud-caked bodies shall unfurl, our hair a tangled nest for seeds, fallen leaves, and lost children. We shall awaken in the green half-light. Love and chaos. When a man and a woman love each other, they are like two confused caterpillars, their firm, limber bellies stuffed to exhaustion with green, leafy succulents, wound around each other in impossible knots, a tangle of wriggling footsies, hair caught on their tongues, weaving about themselves a single luminous cocoon from which, as from another womb, they slip and rise on warm uplifts, on wings knit from the inner glow of pale-fleshed, deep cave animals, brushing across the morning a brilliant storm of colors, fields of daffodils, daisies, iris, flame trees draped with bougainvillea and aurora borealis. The chaos of their quivering celebration creates hurricanes a world away, down golden streets. In banks and office towers, the men in power tremble against their panes to see the dervish fire, the black laughing cloud like a prairie storm front in a roaring, whimpering, happy howl, shattering glasses in the minibar. They brace themselves, one hand on the vault, one hand in your pocket. In a sudden silence, dreaming of white marble, of Sistine chapels, deep memories of sunlight through stained glass, stunned, weeping on their backs in three-piece suits, a blizzard of burst feather pillows, leaf storms, empty cocoons, a fount of squandered larval possibilities washing over them. And driving blindly home at dusk, the smoky oil on canvas shades, red, yellow, peach, aquamarine, are all but palpable, as if from this one love we almost see through veils of time's pollution the masterpiece behind, the painting we could be, once were, still are deep, deep inside, returning to that single point, pre-space, pre-time, laying our cheeks on pillows of butterfly wings, drifting to sleep, our eyelids flutter like love, falling in. We murmur of rising heat, of unclaimed aching limbs, of fevered skin, of Michelangelo and Rubens and Raphael, of fire and flight, of wet and slightly salty, rumpled sheets, while outside, down the dawn-gray streets, drift shreds of poetry. Grace amid the ruins. All night, the dog on the roof next door barks. At dawn, my body's temple echoes with confused shouts and protests. Brain cells lie toppled, tangled in a ruin. The hotel guard, still half asleep and wrapped in shawls, releases through barred gates this fool Canadian, off for an early morning walk through night-littered alleys. Along the roofline of Kathmandu, silver satellite dishes are raised like cupped hands awaiting crumbs from the gods, news from Washington, Frankfurt, and the Bombay movie scene. In the asphalt street, a toddler squats amid the litter of plastic bags, green mango leaves, shattered red bricks, squashed yellow-brown mottled bananas. One of the storekeepers from across the street is throwing stones at her. When she has made her bilish pile, she deftly drops her tattered hem and scampers off. A pre-teen girl in an earth-tone plain and threadbare dress leans like a shaft of slim-limbed light across a darkened doorway. A boy, her age mate, bold in a clean white shirt and pressed blue trousers, self-consciously runs across her line of vision to the neighbor's variety shop. The wry light in her eyes and the disdainful, one-sided uplift of her lips tell all. No amount of red and white candy offered from his hand can save him. A slender boy, all ribs and arms and legs shifting from foot to foot, shivers in a bright blue tub, arms folded stoically. His 10-year-old sister is splashing water over his bony beige body, rubbing him down with soap and rags. They burst out laughing at the sight of me. All day, 3 ragged urchins worked the crowds. 1 rupee, 1 rupee. Their voices lingered over bright Gore-Tex, tugged at untucked, faded blue cotton. Now, at dawn, like puppies, they pile up at the roadside in sighing sleep. On the bridge over the Bishnumati, the vendors are laying out their brass pots, cotton shirts, and fruit. The tailors are tuning their machines. Below, the pigs forage in offal from slaughtered buffaloes and open latrines. The satellite dishes bring Bosnia, Chechnya, Kashmir, Colombo, the G7 summit, Seinfeld, Destiny Ridge, a New World Economic Order, Mad About You, beheaded tourists, friends, Schwarzenegger, Schwarzkopf. Men in dark suits pose for the camera. A voice says they are making progress. I look to the hills, the mountains cloaked in gray rain. From whence will come our help? From whence the world's end, the courage to endure? The girl on the sidewalk very carefully stacks her lychees and peaches in pyramids of 5. With nimble grace and dignity, she crosses her legs and waits.